Welcome to this recap and Q&A video for our Tyranids against the Death Corps of Krieg. This was a crazy game, and if you haven't seen it yet, you're going to want to do that first because we're going to spoil everything.
Yep.
Right?
Spoilers.
Absolutely.
Everyone.
So that's your fair warning. Time to get out of here. This was a blowout near the end, but it was super tight the whole game.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
so if you only saw the last second, you would think, okay, the army got tabled.
Yeah.
But it was tight right up to that last turn.
It really was. And it was, we had just enough, I had just enough assets to still be playing the game and still be scoring.
Yeah,
all
and
the
lots
way
of
throughout.
OPSEC the whole way.
Lot of OPSEC. So yeah, no, it was really a really great game. I was obviously really worried turn one.
Well, turn one, like my turn one and your turn one went very badly.
For me.
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
It went nearly perfectly for me.
It's the one downside about the hybrid duels is they're unobscurable. They're so big. No matter where I put them on the table, they can be shot at. You have long enough range on pretty much anything. Even the funny thing is, we're loving the Demolishers, right? Which are only 24-inch range. But on a 9th edition battlefield, realistically, that's all you need a lot of the time.
That's true.
It's the one downside is I can't really protect them turn one. You got the first turn, and for once, it was actually advantageous.
One of the things so you wanted to put the pressure on with those higher duels.
Yeah.
So you had them up at the line, which is something I was able to take advantage of.
Yeah.
Because for what it's worth, like my battle cannon was only in within an inch. My flamers, every one of my flamers was only in within 1 inch.
Demolisher cannon?
Yeah, sorry. My Demolisher was in within an inch, and my flamers were only in within 1 inch.
Yeah.
So I think that could have been an opportunity to maybe, even though you could have been seen, you might have been a little more safe, a little further back.
Well, if you recall, so the thing is though, you have more assets.
Yeah.
And the way deployment works, since we're going back and forth, I have to commit before
you have to make a choice.
So it's like I had considered if I stay back, then I'll be out of range.
Yeah.
Move forward. It's like because you get to place those key units last. You ultimately get to make that call.
That's true.
So that's kind of what that's what happened because I was debating like, do I do that? Do I go for that? So there's a lot of kind of gambling.
It's almost like how you choose to use them. Do you want them to be a reactionary unit?
Yeah.
Or do you want them to be that distraction carnifex that goes up early? You kind of deployed them such that you were going to come full speed at me.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what you would have done?
Yeah, absolutely. Conversely, if I had gotten first turn, if we're just diving completely in, we're throwing every
You would have been charging at least 2 or 3 tanks turn one with one of them, right?
With one of them, and then the Gene Stealer blobs also coming in. Basically, we're doing the inverse of what you did to me, which is pinning the other person. We have these big ranks that can go very far, whether it be because they're doing the big advance and charge, or they're doing move. So we had similar tactics on both sides.
We did.
And so yeah, it's funny because we didn't have as much obscuring terrain, but that's not the problem. The problem is that they're big. They literally cannot be obscured. So it's an interesting thing. A lot of this actually was originally to say that despite that, the rest of the game was really neck and neck, back and forth every single turn.
The Tyranids really showed that just like even the Gene Stealers were absolute stars.
They're awesome.
Their ability to dig in there, get the feel no pains, the invulnerable saves. They're tying up my tanks, so I had to shoot at them.
Yep.
And they were just moving, like using those pylons to move, grab all the points, be everywhere.
Yep.
It really was, tough. I was digging you out with my flamers, but I was losing turns and turns and turns on it, right?
The flamers were very important in this matchup.
They were crucial.
Yeah.
Because the guard's not afraid to get tied up with flamers so much.
Yep. Exactly.
So that was pretty big, and the 2 damage flamer was huge. And, so why don't you give me, what's your MVP? I think we just talked about it.
For sure, the Gene Stealers. Absolutely. These guys were awesome. They are kind of expensive model-wise, points-wise, but they do work, right?
Especially with Catalyst on them.
Oh, so great. And Kraken. That's like the classic.
Exactly. That fallback and charge gave you so much utility.
So powerful. So I loved them.
That was absolutely fantastic.
What about you?
I'm gonna have to go give it to the Malkador Furnace. Every turn, it just kept chewing away at your army.
Yes.
It did a substantial amount of damage. I'd say for the first time, this is a guard game where everything did a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone chipped in here and really contributed. I had these hero mortars, which are doing work. Nuts. Even those las cannons put in work. All the Lehman Rust did everything. The Basilisk was a Basilisk, but he still did something.
He killed the Broodlord.
Yeah, he did damage here and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everything did chip in, but he was constantly a threat that was just really hard to deal with.
See, that's the key word is the threat, right? Because he was doing so many things. He was a key target that I wanted to kill, but not charge.
Yeah.
And he was also, when he inevitably did get pinned, which is what I was also trying to do, he could still shoot in combat, right?
Yeah.
And I have many ways of like getting in there, killing something, throwing up a -1 to hit. You're already shooting in combat with your heavy weapons in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And so having him with the Hellhounds as well, being able to just keep shooting and chewing through was so important.
And because he explodes for D6 mortal wounds.
Yes.
or if he doesn't explode, can shoot on death for
Yeah.
3d6 more flamer shots.
Terrifying.
He works well with the Kriegers.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
I like it a lot
super
too.
cool.
It's a fun model.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We still have yet to have it explode on my army, which that's the day that I will think it's not so fun anymore. When like first turn, it's like las cannons, and it's like my whole army dies. I'll be like, oh,
I can't remember who
the fun is over now.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember who we played against last time with it, because this was an army.
It was Gene Circles.
Okay, yeah. So far, 2 armies that can't pop it at range.
Yeah.
That's the scary thing. That's what you live in fear of.
Next time I bring it, there'll be some like Eradicators or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll get them.
What a cool model.
Is there a play that you think was a really good play that worked for you, and maybe some that didn't work out so well?
So I was really happy with, like you said, the plays with the Gene Stealers. I think there was a lot of like small things piling in, trying to recreate barriers, character blocking.
We were both doing a lot of advanced 40k in this area.
We were, yeah,
right?
exactly.
With the pylons and taggings.
And if you guys have any questions about that, definitely let us know. We try to highlight it in the moment. Sometimes we get like so into it,
so
or
focused,
like forget that we're actually on camera. We're like trying to do the stuff. Mistake-wise, again, I'm still in the back of my mind debating how much of a mistake or not a mistake the playing with the Hyrule in that way was.
Yeah.
Just because it cost me so much, so even if it was a mistake, I'm still trying to think about how I could have done that better.
Right.
I don't know. What do you think? Like, keeping in mind the deployment that I couldn't know where your threats were.
I would have personally played them back.
Yeah.
And because your army's so fast, it forces me to start hitting other things first. And then maybe you could get Gene Stealers up and tag things such that I have to be shooting at Gene Stealers now.
Yeah.
Something like that is probably what I would have considered.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Yeah, I was worried about not having enough threats in your face because you do have firepower.
Yeah.
But having seen how the Gene Stealers performed when they did get stuck in, probably could have gone that style.
They could have been a better screen. Yeah.
Interesting. What about you?
Well, my most exciting play was I overwatched with this tank right here, and I did like. He only had 10 wounds on your Hyrule.
11.
But I did 11, and it was a lot of Overwatch.
That was nuts. That's through a T8 body with a 5+ invuln and a 5+ feel no pain.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
So it went. They both went down real fast. Even right at the opening, like my first turn. Remember, it was just in my Malkador or something. Just like straight 14 wounds or something to you. And I was like, I had my whole army lined up to hit you, and I was like, oh, we just need this one tank. I don't need all of this. And so that whole first round was very, very big for me.
Devastating. What's the threat range on him too? It's pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
Between the move and the shoot.
Yeah, because it's an 18-inch shot, and I think he's a 10 or 12-inch move, so it's a 30-inch.
That's a massive.
It's really hard to get away from.
Yeah. My God.
Yeah.
So cool to see though.
Very, very exciting.
Anything you would have changed about how you played?
I might have. So the Bulgrin, I was too afraid of you shooting them.
Yeah.
So I was hiding them. But you had so many things to shoot at, and because they have such good armor saves, I probably could have let that go, and I should have taken them right up into the center.
That's true.
So they could go either way. As it stands, I did nothing with the Bulgrin all game.
Yeah.
And they were arguably my single strongest unit on the whole board, like even stronger than the Infernus.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I did nothing with my strongest unit because I was too afraid of you shooting them. And that was foolish.
It's another threat overload thing, right? Like I have to be shooting at other things. To your credit, it is a tough mission for them because they want to be going down the middle, but you inherently have to split. And so the moment I see where they're going, I kind of just go the other direction because I could use the Gene Stealers against them, but they're much more effective against other things. So it's a tougher mission for them to play. Yeah. To your credit.
Okay, you want to do some Q's and A's?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do Q&A. Thanks, Tris. My second army is Krieg. I'm super disappointed they got rid of the Grenadiers along with the Centaurs.
Yeah. A lot of well, not a lot, but many. There are many amazing classic like Militarum things that were taken out.
Yeah, they got rid of the Grenadiers. Yeah, that's tough. But you can use the Engineers a bit as your Grenadiers.
That's true. Yeah.
It's still not the same though.
No,
it's not
the
same.
It's not the same.
Ah. All right, thanks, Callum. Hey guys, Callum and Matthew here from Luton, England.
Hey.
What would you guys do to Carnifexes to make them better? They need more attacks.
More attacks.
More attacks for sure.
I want them to be much better in combat.
Yeah.
And if you trick them out for combat, I want them to just be ruthless. Like if you go all in on combat.
Yeah, for sure.
The shooting variants are also still not good enough.
They're not quite good enough.
Yeah.
They had a hot minute where they were interesting.
I think they could just always have Ballistic Seal 3. I don't see why you need to
tech into it.
Like they have so many upgrades that just make them so expensive that kind of they should just have.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either just give them a base or make them extra good if they're going to specialize, right?
Right.
Like they're like double shooting or something if you're like the shooting kind of effect.
Whoa.
Double shooting is probably too much, but
Calm down.
Like the exocrine.
yeah, that would be too much.
Well, you double shooting here. There's different
What are they,
variations of double shooting.
Eradicators? Come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's
yeah.
different variants of double shooting.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
If the double shooting with a restriction, I'm into.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Just making them like if they're going to be specialized, make them better at what they're specialized, or if they're like an all-comers, just give them BS3.
Agreed.
End of the day, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, thanks all for Pivot. For future Sigmar games, Marathi added Stormcast rules, +1 to hit and save for Liberators that didn't move, +1 Bravery to all units within 12 inches.
Oh wait, what?
They added that to the baseline units.
So what is it? What does it do?
The Marathi book.
Okay.
Liberators get +1 to hit and +1 to their save if they didn't move, and +1 to Bravery for all units within 12.
That's pretty cool.
Within 12 of
Liberators.
Of Liberators.
It didn't move.
So that's much better than.
Oh wow! So my Liberators would have been a little stronger, but I'm
trying to pull up right now.
Surprisingly, I'm actually that makes my huge Liberator collection more interesting.
Yeah, totally.
But they're still not amazing. Liberators are still not amazing, but that's a nice improvement. I would have been +2 leadership there, which is cool.
It did come up a couple times.
It did come up, and hitting on, taking them from hitting on 4s to hitting on 3s, and then my leader taking me down to hitting on 2s. Now we're hitting.
Right. I think it's isn't it a battalion that you have to take together?
Maybe it is, but there is no good battalions I could take today with the Liberator army.
Yeah.
So I would probably.
So in that case,
if I had like I had like 40 Liberators, so it'd be worth it.
No, it's cool.
Cool.
All right, thank you, Wanny. Might be a Nidzilla player, but I feel like Gaunts need a Hordy boost.
Yeah.
How does giving them the Ripper treatment sound? Might be a bit too powerful, but I feel like it would be great on the table.
What do you mean by Ripper treatment?
Like Deep Strike?
Right.
Is that what we're talking
tiny
about?
models? Maybe he means tiny models.
Oh, they need to look more Hordy. Is that what it's like? There's more hordes?
Oh, I see. Like you could they're on a base.
One base
that like just totally crams them in. That could be cool. Actually.
I like a giant swarm,
basically.
Like an even bigger swarm base. Like I would actually love to see that, like like the size of a Redemptor
Dread?
like a Redemptor Dread, but it's like a swarm base.
That'd be cool.
And it's just like a 6-wound swarm. So it's like until you kill the whole base, they still have all their attacks and everything.
Well, that's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
The only downside is
They don't count for so many models.
They don't count for so many, and they don't move like a swarm.
They don't build screens.
You can't do screens. You can't move around things as easily. You're like one big block that's.
But it's a cool idea.
I like, model-wise, I love it.
I mean, it could be like Scarab Swarms with Fly.
But that's more like Rippers, right? That's the same scale.
That's what I'm saying.
No, he's saying you give the
talking
base
about a
fly.
bigger one.
He's saying a big base and you give it the equivalent to moving over models.
Like they
It
get
helps,
Fly
but it's not
because
the
they
same.
move like between your legs.
Like this, the superpower of these guys right now, we see it every time we play. We saw it in your game against Predator. We saw it in this game. Is they can run out, they can spread out, they can
charge
cover
things,
ground.
pile in, like tendrils.
Right. So I think
that would make them worse in game, but cooler.
Yeah, for sure. That's true.
This army, there's so many cool things they could do with this army. It's it's such a rich kind of fertile ground for design.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks again, Rowdy. Let me help out. Brian's band, no cover, no worries. A laid-back reggae band that only performs when they feel like, but when they do, they sell out.
That's right.
That's amazing. I love it.
That'd be pretty good. Thanks, Manuel. Thanks for the content, guys. Listening to the Watchers of the Throne audiobooks, and would love to play Valerian and Alea. Are they worth fielding?
No,
but they're cool.
They're cool. So go play them.
Play them for that reason.
Play them because they're fun. They made them. They fact them so they're actually legal to play now.
Are now allowed to play them. It's
They
only
had
been like a year.
They had the wrong keywords on them, which made them illegal to field. But so now you can take them, which is cool. I don't find them to be particularly exciting, but they're also not they're not gonna make your army horrible.
Right.
So go for it.
But they are cool. So that's the best reason
I need to buy them. I don't have them yet.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Callum. Knowing how bad the Wraith Seers Ignore AP1 is, I thought of a way to make it good. Wraith Constructs get a 2-up save, and the AP rule is changed to reduce AP by 1.
Yeah.
That way, against AP4, you still get a 5-up.
That's what we were saying before.
Exactly. I like that.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah. That's really cool. It's other ways of creating this durability, right?
Yeah. It's a new mechanic, too, which is cool.
Which, by the same token, I was still kind of thinking about counterfixes in the back of my mind. Like, something like that. Like, they -1 damage would be too much on them, because they're, like, less wounds.
No, let's do it.
I mean,
-1 damage.
they are Dreadnought-like.
They're Dreadnought-like.
They're also Dreadnought-light. So something
crushed.
like that, where it's like not quite -1 damage, but makes them more durable, because they're just not durable right now.
How about this? Like -1 damage, and they lose it at half their wounds or something.
Okay.
I'm just
you get -1 damage, but it doesn't work on damage 1 weapons. That way you keep it in line.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That'll balance it.
Just for Bridger.
And then they'll fack it. later and say it does work.
It actually does, yeah. To no limit.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Rowdy. Adrian's band, Good Talk, featuring Lil Blah Blah Blah. It's a boy band trying to get street cred by bringing in Lil Blah Blah Blah.
I love this. That's amazing.
Yeah, Little Blah Blah is so hot right now.
Blah, blah, blah.
Thanks again, Rowdy. Bridger's band, Trumpets of Trajan, a ska band that only plays trumpets because trumpets look golden, and that's what Trajan likes. I would be totally into that.
That's sick. I like it.
Bridger and ska would be really interesting.
Right?
That's a unique shift for Bridger.
I loved ska in high school.
I'm sure you did.
Really?
That was my jam.
That's hilarious.
This is perfect.
A lot of ska in high school.
I feel like whenever you come on the channel, you used to have a ska outfit now. I'd love to see.
I don't think I ever
outfit.
owned ska outfits. But
I wasn't a huge fan of ska, but I played pure crazy Tony Hawk games.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's so much ska in Tony Hawk. So I've listened to thousands of hours of ska music just because I played the Tony Hawk games to death. To death.
It's good music.
That's good.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks. Luke, been a while since watching live. Question, your hopes for a far-off Astra Militarum Codex, good Vox casters, infantry platoons, and emphasize the chain of command for
Yes. Oh, chain of command would be so awesome.
Great. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I highly expect that. We've seen it. We've seen it so far in almost every codex that's come out. I mean, it's mostly been Space Marines, but they have it there. The Death Guard have it there, like ways of upgrading certain characters to get certain things. It'd be so perfect for them here.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
That'd be great.
That would be so cool. I can think of so many, and I really want commissars to be so cool and unique that they are definitely auto takes. Whether they're chaplains or something, like they have some sort of aura abilities. I think that would be. I would love it if they have a table of abilities.
Yeah.
In addition to their executions, they need to execute for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
There needs to be lots of executions.
Yeah, of course, naturally.
So.
Thank you, Corey. Hey, Titans. Excited for a great hobby day watching the Krieg and painting the Sakaran Punisher Brian suggested.
Sakaran Punisher!
Such a cool tank.
It's such a good tank. I own 2 of them. I love them so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks. Force, what Space Marine chapter for a Dread army? Space Wolves? How about Bjorn, Techie, Murder, 3 Vens, 2 Wolf Dreads, 2 Ironclads, 3 Shooting Contemptors? Expensive, bad, but stylish.
Yes. Accurate. You nailed it.
I don't know that it's that bad.
It's not gonna win you that many games.
Yeah.
but it can work.
Yeah. I think, funny enough, if you took out the double shooting contemptors and put like regular stuff, it makes the list way better.
Yeah, the contemptors are a little pricey and they eat your CP.
Bjorn and the Ven Dreads, the Wolf Dreads are all genuinely great.
Agreed.
And you're not paying the CP, you can get other great shooting that the army has.
Did you have Redemptors in there as well?
The biggest flaw is that this list is literally 13 models.
Well, that's also one of its biggest benefits. But no, I think Space Wolves do it really well. Iron Hands do it even better. So Iron Hands are probably top of the list.
Yep.
I'd say Wolves are probably second.
Honestly, yeah, because and if you want to play
they have unique dreads.
Yeah, if you want to play Killy Dreads, that's the way to go, right?
But Blood Angels.
No.
Blood Angels.
Well, they have their
Furioso Dreadnoughts
and their Death Company Dreads.
Death Company Dreadnoughts. And Librarian Dreadnoughts. Yeah. Get on my level, Adrian.
I would say they're third.
They're third.
I would say they're third.
So
for sure they're third.
Yeah.
And they're the coolest Dreadnoughts.
The Librarian Dreadnought is the best. You should have started with that.
Yeah. Because then your HQ is a Dreadnought as well.
Yeah.
Whereas in the Iron Hands, your HQ, you have to have an HQ that's non-Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't have you can make a character into a Dreadnought, but he can't be your HQ choice.
Correct.
But with Space Wolves, you can have your HQ be a Dreadnought, which is great.
All right, thank you, Eric. Excited for the new studio, building a Storm Raven gunship.
So excited.
What?
Storm Raven.
Yeah, building a Storm Raven gunship. Wondering what chapter it should be. Would be most useful in. You guys are incredible.
Thank you. Well, Iron Hands
Space
again.
Wolves.
Oh.
Space Wolves.
Space Wolves. Why?
Because it's a transport. And you want to
Space
transport old. You want to transport old school models that did not have jump packs.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Okay.
So, because if they had jump packs, they just deep strike. So you want old school guys that are really scary.
Yeah.
And Space Wolves got what you need.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
And it would look sharp.
Yeah.
It would look.
And it would actually give you some actual like a bit of firepower.
Yeah.
In an army that doesn't have it.
Yeah, that thing is a lot of firepower.
It's respectable.
Yeah.
It's no Fire Raptor.
Well, no, but it's also like half the cost.
Yeah. Is it?
It's a lot less.
Yeah. Okay.
Not half.
But it's got a lot of transport as well. So that would be my number one pick. Okay. I don't know if I had a second. I don't even know what it was.
Still think Iron Hands.
Why? Just make it durable?
It makes them durable and hit better because, like I said, it is a gunboat as well.
So you'd be treating it mostly in Iron Hands. You'd be treating it as a gunboat.
Yeah, you can transport stuff like Terminators and things. But
fair enough.
You're not into it.
I'm not into it.
All right, thanks, Empty Lazpack. Great name.
Nice.
Miss the old Commissar auto pass for executions.
Yes.
What do you
Me
think
too.
of changing it so it's still an auto pass after executing for most units, but conscripts have to take D6 models instead for balance?
Yes. Oh, yes.
This is the reason it was changed, right? Was because at the beginning of the 8th, people would run 30 conscripts that were immune to morale.
And it was too much.
It was just too good. So I agree. I think
the conscripts were 2 points apiece, right?
Yeah, that was
2 or 3 points
the
apiece.
baby with the bathwater for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yes. So the commissar rules right now, let me explain. They actually don't work at all. Because what happens is you roll, let's say they killed a bunch of guardsmen. You got a 10-man squad and they killed like 7. So you roll and you're guaranteed to fail. And then he lets you kill D3 and then roll again.
Kill 1.
So he kills 1. So you've lost 1. Then he kills another one. And then you roll again and lose another one.
You don't lose the first one because you're re-rolling the morale.
Okay, fine. So you're guaranteed to lose at least an extra 1.
Blah, blah, blah here.
All I'm trying to say is he guarantees you lose more models.
Unless, if it was like a 4-up to fail morale.
A 10-man. It's a 10-man. Like, that's what I'm saying. He makes sure you lose more models.
If it was a 4-up to fail morale.
Yeah.
It's worth trying the reroll.
I don't even know if that's true.
It's not good.
It's probably even worse.
If this were a free ability that was just like attached to every squad, would you ever use it?
You would use it very rarely.
Right, but you would sometimes use it.
This is a 45-point character on foot that has no orders that you give it. It's awful. So I just think it should be he kills 1 model and you pass. Yeah, that's it.
Very good.
Pretty good.
Very good.
Alrighty, thank you, Phil. Hey Titans, big fan since Brian's first video on Tau a long time ago.
Oh, he's an OG over here.
Yeah.
I'm building 2 Eldar flyers. Should they be Hemlock, Crimson, or one of each?
Crimson for sure.
Hemlock.
Hemlocks are cooler.
Hemlock are so much cooler.
But Crimson Hunters are better.
Crimson Hunters are way cooler.
They're better.
When you say cool, you mean like cool as in you'll ever get to do them and be happy with them?
Like you get to pick your Exarch abilities and like do cool things. Like these are fighter pilots.
Yeah.
Like this is like mega fighter pilots of all time, right?
Yeah.
Hemlock's cool.
Psychers in planes.
Psychers in planes?
I mean, that's fine.
Psychers in planes.
Look,
and
look,
the plane is alive. It's a wraith construct.
Look, this is what you do. Which
kind of cool.
Going to be the second part before I was so rudely interrupted. Is you magnetize them.
Is that doable?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought that was a different chassis.
No, I own these. Mine are not magnetized. They're actually just dry fitted because they're actually pretty tight fits. And you can just do that. No
well, if that's doable, then I'm on board with have both.
Well, there you go.
But run the Hemlock.
No, Crimson Hunter Exarchs.
So run the Exarchs if you want them to be good.
And cool.
Yes, they're cool. But run the Hemlocks if you want them to be cooler and not as good.
It's a living, flying Psyker plane.
Cool. They're just cool. That's about it.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we're not answering your question at all. We're like split down the middle. But magnetize is the answer. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Andrew. What would a Kraken Kronos nid list look like to bring to a tournament? I have 3 big bugs at the moment, a Demacharon, 2 scythed. Should I go more big bugs, more troops? What do you suggest?
Good question.
You can't do too many big bugs because you do need lots of little bugs.
You can't. And like Dermic Symbiosis is amazing. That makes 2 of them much more durable.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said about that. So obviously that's tough with the Scythe Tyrannids. Oh, that's this one, which is all melee.
Yep.
So those are definitely Kraken. I was gonna say, yeah.
The Demacharon works great as it as well.
Also as Kraken.
Yeah.
And your Kronos you back up with all your shooting. So I think did you say Hive Guard?
I didn't say it, but he should have it.
You should have Hive Guard. You should have Exocrine. I usually would say 1 Hive Guard, 2 Exocrines as your backline of shooting.
For sure.
And obviously with like a Neurothrope to back them up.
A Neurothrope for the spell.
Babysit them, and that's your Kronos detachment.
That's Kronos.
And then pretty much everything else is Kraken.
That's right.
The one other thing I would suggest is you have something pushing upfield that is Kronos, so you can pop the strat. So if you're running this detachment as like a heavy support detachment, you can take 1 or 2 just small Ripper squads as Kronos to then pop your strat off of, which is a really nasty thing against certain armies.
Agreed.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's great. I think that could work really well.
Yeah.
That's
very close to what I would.
You could even take a unit. You could take a unit of Devil Gaunts as well if you want to. You could do some good shooting with them. They can wreck for sure. But you definitely want a lot of little bugs.
It's all about little bugs.
Yeah, that's how you win games.
And mostly min squads. I like 1 big squad, which I tried to take here, but I went with the smaller ones where you can just do the same thing that you did, but you do with 1 massive squad that just goes up, double moves.
And even Catalyst or something can be a pain.
And you just stand there.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, David. Hey, Titans, I love your games, and I'm excited for the new studio. If it were up to you, how would you change Aspect Warriors for 9th Eldar Codex?
Make them really good at what they do.
Really, really good.
You know?
Yeah.
Like make them Harlequin, like Harlequin troops, basically. As far as like durability and killing power, but the killing power is different depending on who they are.
And they should all have like at least one amazing strat that really sends them through the roof of like what they are. It's way more of that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so possible. I know it seems infeasible right now based off what they look like, but again, look at Harlequins. That shows that it works. You know, they were one of the top armies, and just make them really good at what they do. You know?
Yeah. I could think like things like the Banshees should just shred with their swords.
Make them Repentia levels.
Yeah. Oh, Repentia level. That's a perfect example. Yeah. That would be so good. Something like the Scorpions with their infiltrate abilities. I would give them something almost like Gene Stealer cults where they could come in really close or D6 extra or something like that. And I would make them actually able to fight a little bit, especially the Exarch. Yeah. Right? The Reapers, I think, are actually pretty respectable. Yeah. So I don't know that we need to do too much. The always hitting on 3s is not as interesting as it used to be.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
So maybe they think about that a little more.
Maybe you actually can advance them and still shoot without penalty.
Yeah.
Or just at all, right?
That'd be cool. The Fire Dragons need the Eradicator treatment.
They need like more than the Eradicator treatment.
Right, because they're not as durable.
To be durable somehow, yeah, they're probably one of the tougher ones. Longer range would be cool.
Yeah. Definitely some sort of extra, lots of shots, right? Like they have 1 shot at now, 2 would be like the minimum.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe they get, if you want them to be close range, maybe they get like preposterously good as closer they get.
Yeah.
Right. Like you think of the Breachers where they have like 3 profiles. Cool. You get them within 6. Like maybe it's like 3 shots, strength 10 or something. You know.
I would also consider giving them an inbuilt Fire and Fade, where it's like after you shoot 2d6 move, so you can kind of play the angle game a bit more. And do cool things with like screens.
This is all good stuff. Yeah. Maybe their Meltas automatically have a double profile and they can do Flamer or something like that. Yeah, it'd be cool.
I have high hopes for that book.
Yeah. I really hope they make the Aspect Warriors super, super interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks, Earth. I suggest Deathwatch for peeps who want to use non-Primaris Marines. Deathwatch veteran troops have the same stats as Intercessors, same cost, better weapons.
Yeah, that's like a classic, non-Primaris army. So
the one disadvantage to taking the normal, so you get them and you get, when you say better weapons, they get special issue ammunition.
Correct.
Which is totally great.
Yeah.
The downside is that the other units you can take, Intercessors are not what's special. It's the Bikers that are special. It's the Eradicators that are special.
Inceptor.
And it's the ability, to have the Inceptors for the fallback and shoot. So it's those things that you're interested in. You're paying attacks with Intercessors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd want regular guys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Eric. When I entered the hobby 20 months ago, the saleswoman said I was going to end up getting sucked into the depths of this hobby. Maybe it's happened.
You're in.
Just maybe.
You're here on your Saturday watching a live game of Warhammer, chatting to us. So I think you're in. Welcome.
Happy to have you.
You've made it.
Thanks again, Eric. But I only have 2,000 plus points for Orcs, Ultramarines, Death Guard, Tau, Imperial Guard, Grey Knights, Custodies, Sisters, Fists, Dark Angels, and Admech. Maybe it's happened.
Yeah.
I also like how you used baby terms as far as the age. It's 20. You're 20 months in.
Yeah.
Like when a child is less than like 2 or something, you always say months. Very appropriate.
I did a similar thing. Like I had my first year and I was like really just Tau. Yeah. And I built my Space Marine out, and I was like, yeah, cool. And then in my second year, I just like got 9 armies.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Give me them all.
You catch a bug, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bombarded. I've not played 9th yet, but I bet it will be stressful without a personal bridger to keep track. Big props for killing it. The other hosts, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got to have a personal bridger, but also what you need is you need an entire stream
couple thousand
of people. Yeah, you definitely are going to want at least 1,000 people, maybe 2, just to catch the blah blah blahs.
It's
you know,
true.
Because there's a lot of rules. You don't want to read them all.
No.
So you read half, blah blah blah, the rest, and then chat fixes it for you.
That's right. Yeah.
Thanks, Alexander. What do you guys think about the Forge World Orc Kill Tank? Keep up the good content.
We like it. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
You kind of want to run 3 if you're gonna run them, but
because you want to make that like what your list's about.
You want to make it what your list is about, but you also want to unlock your clan abilities for it.
It's true.
And they're not like crazy expensive points wise, money wise they are obviously, but
pretty pricey, and they're Lords of War.
Yeah, well that's the main reason, right? So unless you take 3, you don't get your traits.
So would you take it with the Bursta Cannon or with the Gigashuda?
So they're both interesting. I forget in the end what I decided.
The Bursta Cannon you pay more for, but it's 3d6 strength 10 for 3 damage.
Yeah.
So that's the one you want. So They're
other ones-
325.
Yeah, totally reasonable. Totally reasonable.
It's not bad.
No,
It's
they're
like a
really cool.
Riptide.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they're way better than that.
they're
So-
super cool.
Yeah. Do you have any kill tanks?
No, not yet.
We should get in on this.
We should. It's also like a great kit to build too.
8 attacks at flat 3 damage too.
Yeah, no,
Weapon
they're-
skill 4.
They're beasts. And you notice both of these guns get +1 to your BS if you're shooting close. So you're hitting on 4s. Put some more DACA on that,
Oh.
right?
Mm.
Oh.
No,
Jeez.
they're cool. They're
Yeah.
legitimately good.
Yeah.
And they even have 3-up armor. Amazing.
And it gets D3 wounds back each turn.
Yep.
Okay.
On top of your other heals.
D6 mortal wounds explosion.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Right?
It's
Cool.
fun.
Yeah.
I would definitely be playing with a bunch of these.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, SP. Will Black Templars get a Codex supplement in 9th or new plastic characters?
I hope the answer is yes to both of those.
That is hopeful, but maybe.
Plastic characters is a lot to ask because they haven't given a lot of additional models to a lot of these small
Yeah.
armies.
I was going to say, especially since the launch of 9th, I would expect them to get at least a model. But
Dark
there's many
Angels
armies.
get anything on their release? They got nothing, right?
okay.
All
that's-
the new Space Marine stuff?
No, models. Like
Nope.
on their book release.
Uh-huh.
But pretty much all the other ones did get one new thing.
But like one new, but not like a. Not
No, that's what I'm
much.
saying. I think
Yeah.
you could probably, if they get it, I'd probably count on one.
They
But
usually do one.
more
at
than
least.
that, I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be cool though.
So who do you want? What's the one model you want? Do you know their line?
So I'm torn between Helbrecht and Grimaldus. I'm gonna go with Helbrecht
It's
just
always
because.
he's chapter master.
Well, plus Grimaldus is already such a dope model.
He is
Him and
kinda
his
cool.
servitors. I'm like, I actually love that model already. Whereas Helbrecht is like, kind of dinky.
He's so
So
dinky.
I'd probably go with him. What about you? Same?
Yeah, of course. I always want the chapter master. Give me
Yeah,
the chapter
that's
master
true.
first. Make him epic.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, thanks, Super Edie. Hey, guys, long-time watcher, just subscribed. You guys are awesome. Why, no, I haven't just been traveling through the warp, but I will be next week. Why do you ask?
Oh, thank you.
People are probably so confused.
Yeah,
what,
yeah,
what he means.
Thank you, Edward. Thinking of jumping on the Sigvald conversion bandwagon by making a foot-slogging shield captain for Custodes Force.
That's
Does
cool.
it sound worth it?
That's dope.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Make it your Trajan, dude.
So cool.
Could you imagine Trajan like that big?
I just bought the Valdor model. Who
Yeah.
he's pretty cool. Maybe
That's a great model.
maybe I can make a Dante out of Valdor.
Actually, I'd be on board with that.
Yeah, I should think about
Yeah,
that.
That's super cool. Yeah, it's a great model.
Thank you. Wait, did we? Yeah. Thank you, Miko. Hey, Titans. Got a weird idea. 5 devs with heavy flamers, 5 Vanguard vets with chainsword and storm shield in a drop pod. Vanguard vets screen devs for Overwatch. Could this be useful?
That's cool. I like it.
It totally could work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flamers are fun if you can deliver them, and
Mhm.
heavy flamers actually can do work.
Make these salamanders.
Oh man,
Now you're cooking.
Now you are cooking.
Thank you, KP. In response to Krieg Overwatch killing a big nid, Brian's ABC always be crushing Adrian's hopes and dreams under oppressive weight of 5s and 6s.
You could. This is like in that Simpsons episode where if you could like fast forward, you could see the moment that his spirit
Yeah.
breaks, just like Ralph Wiggum.
Totally. I was like, well, at least I'm gonna get the charge. All right, let's do this. And you're
And
like,
it was
boom.
even still an unlikely.
Boom.
It was still like a 10-inch charge.
It's a
re-rolling.
10-inch rerollable.
So
Yeah.
it's like you were still bound to fail.
Yeah.
But nope, I'm not taking any chances here. I'm killing it now.
That was brutal, man.
Yeah.
Brutal. Savage. I was so excited to play with these models too.
Only I may have fun with them.
I know, yeah. Apparently.
Thanks again, Miko. It's actually super impressive that Adrian plays as well as he does and wins as often as he does when his rolls are this bad,
Thank you.
all with a big smile. Oh,
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's fun, and like we said, like it's easy to like just give up at that first turn when you lost your big toys.
Right.
But you know, you get through it, you dig in. It made for a really close game ultimately.
Well, and a lot of the moves you do,
Mhm.
like 90% of the points you get rely on no dice rolls,
Correct.
right?
Exactly. I think that's important.
Like
too.
go back and look at all the
Yeah.
points he picked up in this game. Almost none of them relied on him rolling any dice.
Yep.
They were all just like decisions he made multiple turns in advance of like, I'll move here, I'll be here, I'll be here.
That's what it's about.
So it's like he's not betting on dice
I
to
can't
win this game.
I've learned I cannot. You should already be playing Warhammer that way, but I especially have learned that lesson.
That's right.
That's why Brian will make fun of me, but I play conservative for a reason.
Yeah, and I'll bet on dice that are slightly in my favor.
Yeah.
I won't bet the game on them,
No.
but I'll bet on them.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like knowing when to take that gamble and when not to. Right?
Because a lot of times it keeps a lot of people are like you in the sense where they've been burned by it too many times,
Mhm.
and so it keeps people on their toes sometimes. When I try to pull these long shots that
Yeah.
people wouldn't imagine like anyone would try it.
Totally.
But like I'll try it,
Right.
you know.
Why not?
Thanks, Grim Bacon. I see a couple of attempts to super chat here, and I don't see any messages. So just like
let us know.
Just chat me, bro. Just like, oh, here we go. Here it is. Took up 40K at 45. COVID. Play Space Wolves. Need advice on how to expand my army. I have Ragnar, the Space Wolf Primaris start collecting, and an Indominus box.
Oh, that's a great collection.
Those are good things already. So you get a few more Blade Guard.
More Blade Guard for sure.
Maybe even an Impulsor for them.
Yes, I'm loving the Impulsor for Blade Guard.
Yeah,
especially for Space Wolves too.
I think that's great. You got some Thunderwolf Cav. You're gonna want some of them.
Yeah. Great and flavorful. Some Fenrisian Wolves. Super cheap screeners.
Fenrisian Wolves are so good.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I would definitely get 15 of them.
It's funny because they fill out such an important role for Space Marines.
Yeah.
One of the things that you see like really top level Space Marine players doing is they take things like servitors
Yeah.
to just like throw out there and screen, grab a point, because that's the only option of actually doing that. But Fenrisian Wolves are just better versions of that.
Agreed.
Right? Run out, screen. So
They're
powerful.
perfect. And if you have an Indominus box, I might even consider 3 more Bikers. 3 more Outriders, because 2 units works really well for me.
Yep. That's a sweet point.
Yeah, and then I think you're getting there. A couple characters. You know, you could get a chaplain. You could get a
on bike.
We already have a chaplain. Yeah, get the chaplain on bike
because he
has the chaplain on foot already, which isn't the best.
And you can use those, right? It's not locked to
can.
Wolf Priest only or anything weird.
Yeah, they got rid of all of that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's right.
That's good stuff. You got a great basis.
Cool. Thank you, Skylark. Shout out to my husband, Johan. Who's
up,
currently
Johan?
sitting in the kitchen watching your amazing live stream and refining his newly 3D printed D&D character.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's always fun.
I think it's 3D printing is so perfect for D&D.
It is.
You can just like, generate your custom character, whatever you wanted, whatever you need.
Well, and if you're a person who plays D&D with models, one of the most annoying parts is I own a lot of D&D models.
Yeah.
But when you're setting up like, okay, this is gonna be a battle against like kobolds. I need like 45 kobolds.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like blind packs, dude. You got 1 kobold. Like I have 200 models, 1 kobold. So it's like, okay, this goblin is a kobold. This snake is a kobold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But 3D printing, you can be like, okay, I've got this thing. I need 20 kobolds. I've got 20.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really hard, you know. I don't know. It's not easy to always do that.
I agree. It's a funny thing, like, I've been playing D&D for a long time, but I was raised on the D&D. D&D is part of like the model tradition, and there's a lot of people that are very like pen and paper.
I only grew up playing with no models. Models were like heresy.
See, that's wild to me, right? Yeah. Right, but that's the thing. Like a lot of people play it that way.
How do you even?
It was like not even a like it wasn't even a grid. Yeah. It was just a picture.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. So when I started playing D with like my friends, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna play," and I was like, "But where's your models?" Like, that's like part of the experience for me. So it's funny how different
one of the things with the models that I find, and I don't know what people think, but when you put it with models, people get very fixated on the models. They get very fixated on the inches and the facing and the whatever. It becomes a board game, and it becomes less about your imagination.
Exactly. Oh, Brian.
And the
captured
strength,
my interest.
But the thing is, the strength of D&D over time was that anything could happen. Like things that are outside of the rules could happen. And when you have a rigid construct, it's like, it's kind of weird. You know, it's like, oh, your rogue wants to run and swing on the chandelier, land on the dragon's back, and like stab him in the spine.
Right, just make an acrobatics check, Brian.
No, but then like you find out, oh, he's 1 grid space further than he's allowed to, so he can't. But like when you're describing it, like the DM would almost always allow it. Yeah. And so the grid just sucks that creativity out of it.
I think it's important to have a balance in it because like, you know, I enjoy playing tactically. A lot of people I enjoy like playing with play that way, and so it's like giving just enough of a restriction that you kind of see and be tactical, but also like as a DM, you have to be like, okay, it's fine. You know, like allow this to slide or make it a bit looser.
No doubt. An important balance. It comes down to the DM as well. But one of the things I will say, I obviously own a lot of models for a reason. Yeah. I'm not saying I don't like model-based D&D. I'm just saying it's not the way I was raised. Yeah. And the thing about model-based D&D is I only like it with extreme terrain. Like, don't put me on a grid.
Oh, wow.
Give me that. Get me that like Dragon Forge thing.
What?
Like, if you're bringing the models, turn it into a visual thing for me.
Now you've gone so far down the rigid path.
Yeah. Those are the only 2 things I want.
You can only ever play with whatever models you have, and you're like, well, I know the terrain he has.
Now you go out of your way that it's like, okay, we're gonna play next month. You make a new board for it.
Oh, jeez, Brian.
See that's what I like about Inquisitor 28, where you're like in the campaign, you're actually building out like really fancy boards because you're gonna play like a scenario or a couple scenarios on that. Whereas D&D, I'm like, you transition so fast.
Right.
You can. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, they're like, you're just like, here's the map that says to go to the cave, and they're like, we're going to the beach.
Yeah. Right. And you're like, you're all terrain built.
but
I had a cave built for $20,000.
And then you're like, oh, you trip into a portal and land into the cave. Here's the cave.
Yeah.
So that is the downside of that. Of course.
Yeah. So it's all,
I'm with Adrian on this. It should be a very flexible board game.
Fair enough.
I just think it's interesting to hear how different people play it and the philosophies.
It's a big spectrum.
Assumptions too. Yeah. It's cool.
Alrighty, maybe we should.
We'll do like a one shot one day or something.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Damon. Great seeing the guard get a win today. Last question for the night, this is not. You can't just say that. This is not.
It's their last question.
Your last question for the night. Thoughts on the Malgador style tanks for Vestroyan? Really love the forgeable tanks over the vanilla tanks, but I'm unsure if they're worth it.
Yeah, they can actually be pretty good. Of course, this is a Malgador tank, and it's no joke. The Malgador, I'm trying to remember which one I like. The Malgador Defender is one with 7 heavy bolters.
That's the one I like.
And a Demolisher cannon. So that's pretty good.
21 shots. Nice.
Yeah, and it's basically the same points as this thing.
Is that the one with the the circle barrels?
Yes. Somebody clip that.
No.
Yeah, and so it's
Still quietly chugging.
it's pretty great. So the Malgador Defender I really like. I would definitely pick that one up. The normal Malgadors, like the Malgador and the Annihilator, were never my favorite. I'm not saying they're bad.
What does it even have?
Demolisher cannon, 2 heavy bolters, and then a twin las cannon.
Yeah.
And so that's nothing special.
That's not weird enough.
And the normal Malgador is 2 auto cannons, battle cannon, and a heavy bolter. It's like, who cares? But the Defender and the Infernus, they're good.
Are they all T8?
Yeah.
They're all that tough?
They're all T8, 3-up save, 18 wounds.
That's cool. Because this person's also kind of asking as like a replacement for things like
a
Leman Russ, right?
Yeah.
They're obviously not as accurate as a commander. You can't get the tank. Oh, you could get tank aces, but it's cool.
You can't get tank aces for these guys.
Yeah?
For the Malgadors? The Malgadors,
only certain types of things?
Yeah, it's Leman Russ only,
right.
or it's the Baneblades or whatever. And then you have...
Or the Basilisks or the
Then
Wyverns.
you have one specific category that's for Basilisk Wyvern.
Yeah, you're right.
And,
you're right.
Yeah. Basilisk Wyvern and Manticore.
Alrighty, thank you, Josh. Hey guys, thanks for the great content. I have the Necron Battle Force to build and paint. Am I better building Lich Guard or Praetorians?
Oh,
Lich Guard.
Lich Guard, for sure.
So I started with Praetorians because I just kind of liked them more, and I knew the Silent King was coming, and I wanted all that. But I didn't know, or at least I didn't pay attention in advance that they didn't have the core keyword.
Yeah, you juked me out. I was like, I guess Praetorians are going to be good. And then you're like, maybe. And then it came out, I was like, wait.
Yeah, well,
when
you're playtesting a whole new edition, it's easy to miss a thing like, oh, they don't have core and things like that. So I didn't see that they don't have core, and so many of the good abilities require core.
Yeah.
So the Lich Guard are better just because of the core keyword.
Yeah.
I have 10 Lich Guard coming. They'll be here in like a week or 2 or something.
Cool.
Thank you, Gusto. Loving your content. Which chapter or successor traits would you recommend for a pure Primaris army? Combo of strats, traits, relics, etc.
Ooh.
Pure Primaris.
That could be anything.
That could be anything.
Could be anything.
That's like saying I just want a Space Marine army.
Well, okay. Let's talk about like what would be if you're doing pure Primaris. Yeah. Probably newish stuff.
Yeah.
What would be your first couple picks? I think we know what the top picks are.
I think, yeah. I'll do something weird because I'm starting my Space Marines. And it's pretty much, at least to start, all Primaris.
Right.
And I'm doing Emperor Spears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they are very flexible. They play the shooting game. They play the melee game really, really well. So regardless, they're going to be effective. Some of the best...
And you could play them as anything you want, but they're supposed to be an Ultramarine successor?
The Emperor
no,
Spears.
they have to be Ultramarine successor.
Emperor Spears have actual rules.
Yeah, if you use them as the Emperor Spears.
Correct.
Yes.
But like, no, mine I'm going to be playing them as whatever.
Yeah.
Right? So I will be looking at White Scars later on. The one downside I will say about White Scars and some of these other units, including like Blood Angels, is you have classic non-Primaris units to use. Like with White Scars, it's like the Vanguard vets are very, very good.
Even the old school bikers.
The old school bikers are really, really good. The same thing with Blood Angels. Blood Angels, you want Sanguinary Guard. So like I'm a little hesitant to say those are like the go-to Primaris.
I think White Scars more than Blood Angels.
Agreed.
Right? By long shot. Because I think Blade Guard and Eradicators, they're all going to be just fine. With that army.
I think Salamanders
are really, really good. So Salamanders, White Scars, if you're trying to paint them as a color scheme. Otherwise, if you're going to make your own, just make your own and play them, try them out as different things.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Casey. Afternoon Titans. Which successor traits do you like for Salamander successors?
Oh.
For Salamander successor?
The fake Salamander one where you get your reroll.
Why?
Because it's good.
No.
Why are you just making Salamanders again?
It's rarely, I don't know, it's okay. but it's not that amazing.
Hmm.
Most of my Salamander's army is like, for example, it's like a 4-man Eradicator squad, a 6-man squad of Flamers.
Yeah.
I don't need one reroll to wound. Like, it's not gonna...
Eradicators make great use of that.
It's okay,
Not really.
but it's
If you're
usually...
Why do you
running
need one
squad-
big
The
brick?
problem is because they're shooting at the same target, they're almost always overkilling. I'm taking... A 4-man isn't a big brick. It's just enough to always get it done.
3 with a reroll would also
I'm
just get
trying
it
to.
done.
I'm trying to decide if I want. I think I do the fallback and charge.
Yeah, fallback and charge
It's
is
just such a
always
good
useful.
utility, and I would like you could lean into like a couple bricks of aggressors for that, right?
Sure.
And what else is interesting?
That's a challenge, is because they usually don't want to fall back because they can shoot in combat with their
Yeah.
flamers. But yeah,
That's true.
that's a tricky one.
That's true. It's tough actually.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going inheritance of the Primarchs on this one.
No, you
Yeah.
cheater.
You do give up a lot. You give up Ignore AP1.
The thing is, they're good traits, and a lot of the custom traits are melee based, and they're not. They're fine.
The
in
good
melee.
custom traits are melee based.
The good custom
The
traits.
good
are
ones.
based,
Yeah. You can do like.
We almost
bolter
never.
fusillades.
Bolter Fusillades is
Terrible
A joke?
for them.
it's not good. Yeah.
Not good.
And I almost we almost never look at any of the others because they're just inferior.
All the best ones are melee based, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus from advance and charge, the exploding sixes,
Mm-hmm.
fallback and charge, amazing. Long range marksmans, you don't
range.
need it anymore.
Plus range? No.
It used to be the thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Just because
it's
there
only
wasn't
rapid
really
fire and
anything
heavy,
else.
so it's not going to affect your flamers,
Oh,
right?
not even your eradicators.
That's right. So
You know?
yeah, there's not a whole lot. Preferred enemy Eldar.
Yeah, nailed it.
That'll really make sure those Eldar people
Nailed
are so
it.
sad.
So it really does sound like if you're gonna do
Yeah.
this, you're gonna want to pick one of these ones that we just mentioned, but keeping in mind that you really want to build a more melee heavy Salamander's army than you might otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the normal trait is just great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Stalwart. Give
What's
them
that
that you can't be wounded on 2 up.
Oh, it's like baby transhuman.
It's baby transhuman,
cute.
and you could give like Born Heroes. I don't know. It's like +1 to hit on when you charge.
Oh, Born Heroes is good too.
It's kind of fun.
Especially again with aggressors, right?
Yeah, exactly, because they need that +1.
Born Heroes.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right, cool. Thanks, Dragonfire. Hey, Titans. Was watching while building a Lehman Russ tank. Have
Nice.
you done Guard versus Death Guard? If not, is there a chance that could be a future battle?
I don't think we have.
I don't know.
The-
It might have come up at some point.
The Imperial Guard would be at a big disadvantage.
Yeah,
Many
that's like a
reasons.
really good army in Death Guard against like a mediocre army in Guard.
Yeah, there is a couple things I'll say about that matchup that
Tell
I would
us.
say make the Guard not as scared.
Okay.
So my army, the Death Guard are very slow,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And they also don't have a lot of shooting. They get a lot of their job done in combat.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can really bog your army down
Yeah. It's true.
and just play the mission really, really well.
Yeah.
I have a way to get a lot of 1 damage shots.
Mhm.
And so the army can do that kind of thing and just chip here and there. So I don't actually have to kill you. I just slow you down,
Mhm.
have OBSEC, that kind of thing. The Bullgrain are fine in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the 2 damage sucks, but and I have a lot of D6 damage weapons. Strength 10 goes through your toughness of
Mhm.
5. So, and you typically can't kill my tanks back, right? Like you'd have a really tough time getting to them.
Not because of the bogging down thing.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think if we did it, we could play a game and it would work.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. A bunch of something. Howdy, folks. Watching while painting a Baneblade. How would you change the rules to make it worth its points? Think about BBS3, right? Was that crazy? Filming BBS3?
No, that is crazy.
It's such a tough balance with that guy.
It's not that it's crazy. It's just like, it's good.
Yeah.
Like,
Paying how many CP to have them?
you don't want to make them
And they
too
don't get
big.
your regimen?
So first of all,
Fix that.
we've already talked about how you
Yeah.
shouldn't pay CP for
Yeah,
Lords
yeah.
of War.
That's
That's
wild.
silly.
Yeah.
Or if you pay, it's like 1 CP or something.
Right. Yeah. Maybe give it an invuln.
And let it have its chapter tactics.
That would be better than
Right?
BS3.
Let it have its
For
chapter
sure.
tactics.
It costs nothing. No extra CP.
Yeah.
And you get your chapter abilities.
I wouldn't give it an invuln. I'd give it a 2-up armor.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
That's
And
better, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like why is it bad? It's not the most consistent, but mostly it's because you're paying the CP and some armies will just murder it, you know?
some
Like,
armies
I
just
like
want
that
it,
weakness. I like that, if
Yeah.
Eradicators shoot at it, it's a
Mhm.
tank, it explodes. Like, that's
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
classic
Yeah.
Guard.
The 2-up helps with that.
The 2-up helps. You at least get a 6-up
Yeah.
save.
Yep.
Well, unless they're in tactical back. Then it's -5. But nevertheless, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can keep them at arm's length. You got mega range.
Exactly.
Um,
We're all just looking at the Baneblade, by the way.
yeah, we're looking at the
That's how we're
Baneblade.
looking off
I'm looking
screen.
at the tank and like thinking like, what else does it need?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Googly eyes on it. Yeah.
Ooh, it does.
You gotta be careful not to take it too far.
That's
With the
true.
googly eyes?
If I wasn't paying CP and I was getting my chapter tactic by default,
Yeah.
and it had a 2-up save, I'd already be very satisfied.
Okay, so you don't need the googly eyes then.
Take it or leave it.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, we're taking it.
Maybe
Dealer-
it's like
dealer's
a
choice.
tank ace ability.
Yeah, tank ace, googly eyes. That's +1 to hit.
All right, thanks, Michael. Finishing up my Deathwing Redemptor Dreadnought with the tips from you guys and the Discord. Turned out pretty well for me.
That's
Have
awesome.
a good weekend.
Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Appreciate
Me
it.
too.
Thanks, Guillaume. I'm starting an Ultramarine army. What would you choose to complement 30 Tyrannic War veterans? Wink. Smile.
Yes!
No.
Welcome back, Yum.
Oh,
Well, welcome back.
No.
Sorry,
Okay.
It's 30 Tyrannic and that's it, right?
Yeah.
We started exploding before you finished.
Yeah, 30 Tyrannic.
So what you need is Chaplain Cassius, because he was in the Tyrannic War as well. He
Boo.
lost his face in the Tyrannic War.
Boo.
So you want Chaplain Cassius, because if you're Tyrannic War armying it, you need some more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
I think the theme of this army should be data sheets they messed up.
So
Like,
what
you
would
should get
add?
all the other...
Centurions?
They messed up. No, it doesn't matter which way they messed
Oh,
it
yeah,
up.
of course. Yeah, naturally. That's what I'm saying. What would you go with that?
Well, rhinos.
Rhinos and or drop pods.
Rhinos.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. so you got the 3 rhinos.
Uh-huh.
You gotta have Chaplain Cassius.
How big are these squads? Fine,
They're 10
fine,
mans.
fine.
They have to be 10
10
minutes.
So you can still get, you can't get a ridiculous amount
combat
of buffs,
spot them.
but a good amount of buffs. No, I'm thinking of how big you can make it so you can pump them up and make
Oh,
So you
okay.
could put a chaplain for giving them +1 to hit or wound.
+1 hit wound. Yep.
Both. Why not both?
You definitely going to want a lieutenant and
For
some sort
sure,
of captain,
for
chapter
sure.
master.
You have access to Gilman.
You don't need him though, but you could. Gilliman's always cool.
Yeah.
So is
They are-
Talgar.
they are
Talgar's solid
core.
too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We've made an army. You win.
I'm so into this.
You want
There's
some
no
combat?
troops in this entire
Yeah.
list.
No, it's a Vanguard detachment.
Yeah. There you go. Nailed it.
You want to take something that can fight.
Yeah, you need fighting because there's a bunch of the shooting. But
Take
you
some
need-
Blade Guard or something. I don't know.
All right. Thanks, Trey. Craft World Mech Army, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Totally.
Like, not because it's good though.
No.
Okay, but because it is super awesome,
It's awesome.
and one day it might be good.
I think it's genuinely interesting. Still now.
I'm not going to go that far, but I'll definitely say it's super. There's rad models out there.
Yes.
Some of the best models in the line.
Yeah.
And it might be good one day.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Son of Ultramar. Hey, Titans. Thoughts on Cold Star suit with 4 high output burst cannons with the Exemplar of Montcalm Warlord trait and vectored maneuver thrusters relics. You can shoot a unit, then hide, rinse, repeat. That's not even a legal loadout, is it?
It is now because they made a mistake.
Why would they do that?
They didn't fix it, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they fixed it. So let me explain. The Cold Star comes with a default loadout of a missile pod and a high yield burst cannon, which is just double the shots of a burst cannon. And normally you could only get that weapon if you took it just with that loadout.
Right.
And then as soon as you changed away from that loadout, you couldn't even take even just one
Right.
high yield missile, or not high yield missile, sorry, the
output.
high output burst cannon.
Yeah.
But now what they did is they put the sheet of all the weapon options that you had, and they even had like ion in there and things like that. So I think they fixed the ion problem,
Oh.
but I don't know if they fixed the high output burst cannon. So if you're allowed to take it, it is actually a lot of shots.
So they are, I believe, reprinting all the points in White Dwarf coming up.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's like a
What?
basically chapter approved in White Dwarf.
James
So
has
you got
gone,
like a physical copy?
I
they've
guess,
gone out of
yeah.
control.
Okay.
I'm into it. So I'm just curious to see if any of those things get adjusted or fixed.
Yeah,
or
I
whatever.
wouldn't bet. So I wouldn't bet that they let you do it though. Like that's never a thing they let you do before. So if you're doing it, do it for a limited time. You know, while supplies last.
Thanks, Cameron. Hey, Titans. Hype for the new Dark Eldar Codex coming at the end of the month. Really hoping for Vex to make a comeback.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so
Did they
excited.
actually announce a date yet for this?
Nope. But
We're just all
everyone's
hoping?
assuming, yeah. So
It's been way too long.
if I'll tell you, if it doesn't come by the end of the month, I'm gonna riot because I'm dying. I want my
You know what we
book.
do?
Ah.
If it doesn't come by the end of the month, we should just play a game where we just
Yeah.
invent our own rules for Drupal.
That would be amazing.
It's like,
Alright.
here's our codex.
Power from Pain turn 2, permanent transhuman.
That's right.
Well, would that be so crazy?
No, power from pain.
Yeah,
It's perfect.
feel nothing.
And then, but if they roll a 1 or 2, somehow you get stronger.
Yeah, yeah.
It's power from pain. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Erebor. Hey, guys. Now that you have had a chance to play some new Death Guard, what are your top 3 units and why? Great content as always.
Ooh.
From the Death Guard?
Top 3. Okay, this is tough because there's so many great units. Okay, I know one of my top 3. I'll suggest it. It's Mr. Flameboy, of course.
The Flame Guy.
Flame Guy. So good.
We always screw it up if it's like the Biologist Putrefier or the
Nope.
Foul Blight Spawn.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a Foul Blight Spawn, right?
Yeah.
And Foul Blight Spawn, because listen, fight last, he has a double fight last. It's way too strong.
good.
Counter's not charging. It's so strong.
And a million ways to extend the bubble of that.
It's like an auto win condition. It's so good.
Yeah. So he's in the top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
What's another one?
Plague Marines.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
They're amazing.
They fight, they shoot, they survive, they hold.
Yeah, they're troops.
They do it all.
They protect, they attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm into them.
For sure. That's 2.
Death Shroud.
Death Shroud.
That's the 3rd.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love Death Shroud.
Yeah.
They are ruthless killers. They're
Okay.
so strong. They're faster than they used to be.
Mhm.
Bodyguard rule can be used for all kinds of cool stuff.
Good.
They're great.
Bodyguard rule with the foul. Not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Blight.
No.
Dang it.
Now you see.
Ah!
Foul Blight
Noxious
Spawn.
Blight
Blight
bobbers.
Spawn.
Foul Blight Spawn.
Foul Blight Spawn.
You were saying
Yeah.
the noxious Blightbringer. We should have gone through all of them.
The obnoxious Nightbringer.
Sloppy
Wait,
Bob
whoa.
Blight.
The obnoxious Nightbringer.
Crossover edition.
But the book is filled with good stuff,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Even the what's it called? The mortar tank.
Yeah.
It's great. What's it called again?
Plague Bridge Crawler?
The
Plague
Plague
Bridge
Bridge Crawler. There's so
Crawler,
many
yeah,
names.
You
that we're
did a
getting-
bridger to me where you like knocked it out of my head by
Yeah.
saying like the nonsense version.
But the Plague Bridge Crawlers are great.
They're so
and they're
good.
key to the army.
I think they're very essential to being
Obviously,
a
Mortarion is
competitive list.
amazing.
He's great.
And he's a lot of fun. Like he really gives you this like Primarch vibe where he's just like, sometimes your opponent just is trying so hard to clod him and he's just not going
Yes,
down.
I'm a
And he's
god.
like, yeah, I am a god. And he
Yeah.
goes through. It's great.
Totally.
All right. Thanks, Faust. You guys are awesome. Been painting up 120 grots during the stream.
Whoa,
My brain is melted.
Yeah, seriously.
that'll happen. Grots are rad. And
So
they have
cool.
so many cool details
Yeah.
that you almost don't want to just wash them or something.
No.
You want to put the love into them because
Yeah.
there's so much cool personality in them.
They're really stylish
And
models.
even some of the old grots are amazing
Yeah.
sculpts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, RFZ. How would you change the Datasmith to make it viable? Maybe change bot protocols at end of move, but for current turn, do you think Datalosses will stay in the Codex?
I'll be curious to see. Have they done any shift of like bringing anyone from Black Fortress? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I hope they do, but I don't know that it's guaranteed.
I hope they don't. The
could just go
character's
away.
dumb, and he should go
His
away.
ability is too good. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I hope he stays and does something cool.
I'm curious
'Cause
to see.
The army does need more HQs. I think.
Yeah. Yes,
That's-
please.
Yeah. So that was
Totally.
always one of the things the army lacked, right?
Yeah. And then as
The
far
Datasmith.
as yeah,
He should change the protocols immediately.
so that takes him from being you never take him to you always take him.
Yes. Perfect.
It's really, really good. It might be a little bit too good, but something along those lines. Being able to immediately switch.
I would make it so that you could the robots could switch on their own,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
it takes a turn,
Uh-huh.
or he could do it immediately.
At the end of move phase, right?
Sure,
Because
whatever.
then there's a trade-off of
Not
like
at
you
any
switch
phase.
to shoot.
Yeah.
If you switch
No,
to
that's
shoot,
too good.
end of move phase means if you switch to shoot, then the next turn you can switch to move again, but you can't move that turn. You can't.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to move.
I
the
was
next-
looking at it the other way, where you can be in move in Aegis. You move, then you lock down, so you've got the move and you've got the double shoot. But you're
Uh-huh.
right. Inversely, it's harder to unclamp basically.
Right.
to
Sure.
the ground. Okay, I like that.
which gives them a little bit more, or a little bit better than what they have today, which
Yeah.
is move, permanently shoot.
Or how
to
about
never
this?
go back.
Here, I've got something for you.
Mm,
All right.
yeah.
All right. So maybe he has a once per game change it instantly,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of like the strat.
Yep.
But maybe it's not like hardwired, like it doesn't have to break them. But otherwise, he does the same thing. So he's basically like the strat for free, but it has take backsies.
Mm-hmm.
So you get one time change automatic or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it.
He should be like he's hacking them right there.
I
you
want
know?
him to be like, not something that's like, oh, you either for sure don't want to take him or you have to take him. Like, I want him to be like a legitimate contribution to the unit. You
Yeah.
know? Like he feels weird. He literally
Yeah.
comes in the box, but not in the unit. Maybe just make him part of the unit. I mean, at the end of the day.
So I'm actually really big into that because there's also this problem where he's slow. And let's
Yeah.
say if you're taking combat bots,
Yeah.
it's really hard to keep him up with
Yeah.
him. And
Yeah.
also sometimes you want to deep strike your combat bots.
Totally.
But then he's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
So part of the unit could be cool too.
You could also make a command phase. You could do it every turn in the command phase, and then if they're not already in a spot to shoot,
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
you wouldn't switch. So
Right.
like it's now limited when do you want to use it?
Yeah.
I'm into this. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
All right, thanks. SP, do you have to shoot to fire and fade with Craft World Eldar, and does 9-man Seer Council with Witch Strike work?
Right.
I think you do have to shoot.
You do have to shoot.
Says after this unit shoots, right?
Yep.
So you have to fulfill the condition.
Correct.
Okay.
The only thing that you can say that people have said and played it this way is that you can move later on in the shooting phase. Right. You shoot. You go.
It doesn't have to be right away.
Go afterwards. Yeah.
It's just sometime after they've shot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not what's intended,
It's
but
not the spirit of it.
Yeah.
Witch Strike does not work with 9-man.
It does not.
No.
Which I think they even FAQ'd. Like
Yeah,
it definitely didn't work always, but they FAQ'd it to make it officially did not work.
Because it was so obvious that it should not work.
But it went from being like you'll never use it, like you'll always use this power, to you'll never use this power. I think that power needs a complete rewrite, personally.
Yes.
I think it'd be cool to let them have it.
No, but no.
They still have no rend.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
You're still just like, I'm a
Which
safe range.
they should have rend.
They should have rend.
Like they should even have a lot of rend.
They should, yes.
Like it should at least be AP 3 or
They're
4.
power swords. They should be power swords.
That's what I'm trying to say. They're like
But
super force mega
They're
power
like
swords.
Nerf swords or something. Like
They're definitely nerf.
It's a Nerf bat made of lava.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is true. Like a Nerf bat, not going to cut you, but if you get a good hit, a good wallop, that's definitely a D3
That's
damage.
D3 right there.
You know?
They're those American Gladiator things. They're
Yeah,
like soft.
yeah.
They'll like knock you down,
That's
but they're not
right.
gonna hurt you.
Thank you, Fugs. Gotta be quick. Adrian, love the new vids. Blah, blah, blah. Brian, keep on crushing Adrian's blah, blah, blah. Bridger, great work. Blah, blah, blah.
Good talk.
Well, yeah.
Good
Blah,
talk.
blah, blah, you too.
All right, last one of the night. Thank you, Super Reedy. I don't suppose you guys saw the new Blood Bowl preview on Warcom this week. It makes mention of a game mode called 7.
What? I did not.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Blood Bowl is on the horizon. We have the set.
We
and
should
wanna
play
it.
Blood Bowl.
I want to. It's just
I'm like real into Blood Bowl.
I would love to play it.
We're still behind on our Necromunda game.
Yeah.
We're doing it in the we had already made the decision we're doing it in the new studio.
Yep.
So we'll wait for that. But yeah, we definitely want to play more specialist games.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to play specialist.
It's a lot.
Brian would be unfair good at Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Why are good rolls really important in that game?
Well, it's like it's a push your limit game where like
Okay.
every roll could end your turn,
Yeah. That's true.
and it's catastrophic to end your turn. So like
So you want to reduce
every
the number
roll,
of rolls.
like
you make.
Adrian will be the worst Blood Bowl player in the
It's
history.
basically like my Lizardmen, where I could keep spending command points
Yeah,
and
exactly,
scoring up
yeah.
and just keep going.
Exactly.
You would just keep
And
pushing.
I did
the
that like
limits.
5 times in that
It was
game
horrible.
in one phase. It was great. That's what we play for.
Oh gosh, I'm super into it though. So
Yeah.
it's a very it's a full game. It's very complicated.
It's
Yeah.
great.
But I'd love to learn it. We can maybe do that again
It's a great range of models
once
too.
we move in. Oh, so cool. I really want the halfling.
We'll
team.
definitely do it. We'll
Yeah.
get it.
The halfling team, they're so bad,
I know,
Adrian.
but they're so cool. They're so
No.
stylish.
I don't know what team I would be. Maybe I've always liked some kind of
You'd be
wood elves or
lizard
something.
men, right?
Lizardmen's good, but
Or
I like
high
my wood
elves.
elves too.
The high elves are cool because you get like the war dancers and stuff.
Mhm.
Or no, there's a wood elf one.
There are wood
True
elves.
wood elves with
And
war
they
dancers.
have war dancers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is an old world.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of team. Like that model line has like
Yeah. It's like
more than all of
16
Necromunda.
teams or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
It's so random, but they're cool.
Yeah, it's
ton.
great.
So yeah, we'll do that in the somewhat future.
Yeah. So that was the last one?
Yep, that was the last one.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on this lovely Saturday, the debut of our new NIDS publicly. So we're excited to have them more regularly on the channel. Thank you for joining us as always. Next Tuesday, again, we have members only game.
That's right.
The vote's going to be going up right after this. So if you want to influence that, become a member today.
Also,
join on
yeah,
that.
if you become a member, you're going to find out more about the behind the scenes of us building up
That's
this new
right.
studio. We're putting in a ton of work. We've been in there all day, every day.
Yep.
We've still got a lot more work to do.
We really do.
I feel like if we worked really hard, we've got about another week,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can start to do shows. So we're
Yeah.
not announcing which day yet,
No.
because we legitimately don't know.
We're going to play it close because we're going to be doing it as fast as we can.
Yeah.
And we have been. This week past, we've been doing updates every single day
Yeah.
Via video. So definitely worth checking that out. Otherwise, we'll see you either Tuesday or Thursday on the tabletop.